Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're doing Q&A. Of course we are. Tomorrow I head off to our Sedona rest retreat. We have started doing retreats for HAs, and the next one, y'all obviously missed this one, but the next one is in March 22nd to 25 in Joshua Tree in California. It's gonna be so amazing. But I thought, I gotta bust out a video for the YouTube today, so let's do it. Okay. Ava asks, hi, I'm trying to recover my period recently and I've been eating around 2,500 calories and been only light walking. Yet, I still lift about 3 times a week for no longer than an hour. I'm scared to stop lifting and for all the weight to just turn into fat rather than muscle. Do you think the 3 times a week lifting is really going to set back my recovery? All right, so muscle doesn't turn into fat. So there's that. You'll probably keep most of your muscle. You might lose a little. You'll probably gain some fat. But just to the question, do you think the 3 times a week lifting is really going to set back my recovery? Everybody is screaming at this camera right now, at the computer right now, saying yes, it will be a setback. I answer that question a lot, so I'm not going to deep dive into it right now. I feel like I do a ton of episodes on that, so I'm just gonna answer your question right now, Ava. That's gonna be a no. Okay. Laura asks, hi Danny and Ashley. Oh, she's not here. Should I save this question for her? I'll see. Maybe I'll save that question. Okay. I'm like going through which ones of these are real questions and which are like, hey, we're a PR company. Do you want help? I don't know how to get to my comments on YouTube, so I'm just gonna use my computer, which is right behind you guys anyways, so why not? Woo. You know, that exercise question, it's like the real question for that is why, like, do you not think that mindset is going to be a problem? You know what I mean? Like, do you really think, look here, I have a really similar question. So let's just dive in. Allie, I know you. I've answered many of your questions. Like from the very beginning of my podcast, I've been answering your questions, girlfriend. What is it? We got, it's so hard. Okay, so she had commented on a video about exercise and recovery. It's so hard. May I ask a question? What is worse, walking a lot, like 1 to 1.5 hours, or an hour bodyweight workout for a day? And I'm not gonna answer that question for you, Allie, because you need to stop all of it. You need to stop both. And we've been in the DMs before, because I feel for you. All of you guys, I know your names. I know all your names. I recognize you. If you ask me a question, I know who you are. Like, we're in the circle. You know who you are. So if you have been asking me a question and a year later you're asking me the same question, you know what I'm saying? So, Allie, both are equally not helpful for you. Do no exercise. Okay. Kaylin asks, I do have a question. Do I have to eat more food even when I'm not hungry just to get my period back? Or should I just listen to my hunger and fullness cues? I actually had someone ask me this question inside of the HA Society DMs, where I'll chat with you directly about your challenges in there. And she asked us a similar question, like, hey, I've been really eating a lot and now I'm reaching fullness. I'm not hungry and I feel like I'm forcing the food. I don't know you specifically, Kaylin, so it depends. But for that particular person, you know, I know that she was coming from a big deficit, from really low estrogen. And I was like, now is not the time to be intuitive with food. We need to continue to be intentional. Most people are not ready after only a month or two of full eating. Most people are not ready to go to intentional eating. Most people need to intuitive eating. Most people need to continue to be intentional. And the best thing that you can do is continue to eat so that your body adapts to that new level. It's kind of like, imagine, you know how to get stronger at the gym, you lift more than feels comfortable. So that in the future, you can lift more, you become stronger, you create a stress adaptation response. In a sort of similar way, this is a very loose analogy, but in a sort of similar way, your appetite, your ability to eat more food, and you're basically having to develop your body's ability to digest more food, utilize that food appropriately, and then adjust, adapt, request more food from you. So if you only allow yourself to get to a certain baseline when you have a history of under eating and you need to eat more, you're leaving recovery potential on the table. So yes, more food. Hi Danny, do you offer individual sessions? Yes, we do. Go to thehasociety.com/coaching. I wanted to say I got my period today and I haven't had it since March. Your channel really helped. You are welcome. Okay. Helena. I didn't bring a water with me. Okay, so Helena asks, she says, Danny, thank you so much for your videos. 11 years ago, I lost around 15 kilograms in a short amount of time. Over time, I gained weight but had very restrictive eating behaviors. Even though I wasn't underweight, I ate around 1,200 calories a day and did very intense workouts 5 days a week. Last year, I committed to recovery, and after 6 months of eating well and gaining almost all the weight I had lost in the past, I regained my period. Good job, congrats. However, after reintroducing exercise, eating a bit less, and losing 2 kilograms, I hadn't had another period for 6 months. I'm also experiencing a lot of stress due to my work. What feels weird for me is that my BMI is 23.1, and it's too high to still have HA. My body fat is around 18.7 according to my doctor. What should I do? I stopped doing cardio and now I only work out 2 to 3 days per week with light weights. I just want to regain my period, but I'm afraid of gaining too much weight. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that we come across in practice, right? Where people lost their period, recovered it a certain way, but then they lost it again and are having more trouble getting it back the second time, which is always really interesting. That definitely wasn't my experience, where I was harder to get the first one, then I kind of knew what worked, and when I lost my second cycle, I had, I was able to understand and know what I had changed and what I had kind of messed up on, if you will, like the areas where I had pulled back. There's definitely a chance that that's the case for you, but if you were my client, I would be curious about like getting an HTMA, a hair tissue mineral analysis, just to really understand what's going on under the hood on like a mineral level, because that really helps us understand kind of like the impact of your history, like the impact of your life on your overall body and why it may be harder for you to come up out of a deficit. Because that's the thing. The longer and deeper you dig your hole, the longer and deeper, the harder it is to get out, right? So the person you were who recovered the first time was recovering from a less deep deficit. And that sounds weird because you're like, but what do you mean? Because I climbed myself out of this tiny hole and now all I did was introduce some exercise and lose 2 kilos. Here's the thing. Whatever that was, something about that was too much. The hair tissue mineral analysis, for example, right? Getting a bunch of labs can be helpful to just get a little bit extra clarity that like we haven't developed some other issue, and it really helps us understand the depth of your deficit. But you are probably you probably came out of a deficit so deep that you are still sensitive and your body is still on edge. And so for you to even increase exercise and lose body weight at all has put you in a deficit no matter what. Doesn't matter what your BMI is, doesn't matter what your body fat percentage is. You have now entered from a eating in a surplus, not manipulating your body, not trying to lose weight, into a I'm trying to lose weight, manipulate my body mindset. And just because it's not as bad as it was the first time, your body doesn't forget. The body keeps the score. The body is very wise. The body knows what you're doing. And the body knows that you would probably keep going and try to lose more than 2 kilos. The body's like, we know this game, because it knows what you're thinking. Your body and you are the same person. So it knows what you're thinking, and it knows that you have a plan to continue restriction. So the intention is there, and that is sensed by the body. The weight loss has begun. The exercising more than you're eating has begun, and your body is very wise. It knows its history. It knows this game. And now it's going to be really sensitive. That generally seems to be what we see. I know without a shadow of doubt that I am capable of getting HA again. That my body hasn't adapted to some magical place where it's never going to happen again no matter what I do to it. I know that I'm sensitive. I know that when I am not on top of my shares, the next cycle I will get a lighter bleed, or within 3 cycles I'll have a day off my luteal phase. It will start moving backwards. I have to be disciplined in that way, right? But we don't want to be disciplined in that way. We want to be disciplined about going to the gym and losing weight. We don't want to be disciplined about our health, right? We need to find this balance, because you have an agenda that your body is not on the same page with you with. And we're going to need to get on that page. Now, you did it. You did the hard thing. You gained the weight. You got your period back at the original weight. So now we're in that this isn't fair area. And I get that. And I understand. I'm there with you. I feel that. I go through that all the time. And that's going to be a case of acceptance, right? Because the sooner that you actually accept and let your body stay, because when was this? I don't think you mentioned how long ago last year you committed to recovery. After 6 months, you got your period, and then you lost again. So I don't think you've been even a year recovered before you lost your second one, right? So that tells me that you rushed back. You need to let your body sit in its most healthy state for a long time before you start pushing it to lose weight. Obviously you've gone back to the gym with the intention of weight loss, because you finished this question with, I don't want to gain too much weight. So I know what your intentions are. So I understand. I have total compassion for that, but there's nothing I can do about it and nothing you can do about it. So let's just accept that, because that's helpful to do. And just say, I'm going to give it a year of just going with the flow, right? And you will be a different person after a year. Because that's the other thing, is you haven't healed. Because you went back really fast to training. I know you're only working out 2 to 3 days with light weights, but I don't know what that means. Because your idea of light weights could be really different to someone else's idea of light weights. And when you say 2 to 3 days, I'm betting on the fact it's more close to the 3 days, more consistently. You went back too soon, you haven't healed. You did the weight gain thing, you got the period, but you haven't healed. So your body, you just reopened the scab. You need to give it a year, let your body get in a rhythm, have 12 solid cycles before you even touch intentional weight loss. right? Because as soon as you go back to exercise for pleasure, for sport, which literally means like getting with friends and being active, not running on a treadmill lifting weights. Because like, don't even try to tell me that you're having tons of fun doing that. The intention behind that is not pure fun and enjoyment, and you know. So I have a feeling you went back too soon. You need to step off the pedal, allow yourself to sit there for a year, and then see how you feel after a year of embracing recovery. And then think about whether or not you want to lose weight, because you'll be a different person at the other side of it. But I don't think you ever let yourself get to the other side of it. Okay. That was fun. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope that you have a really great weekend. I will see you guys next week. And if you have a question you want submitted, please comment on YouTube or Instagram, or even feel free to email me at danny@thehasociety.com. And I'll see you guys then. Oh, and please like and subscribe to this channel. It would really help other women find these resources too. Okay, bye.